Hi, I'm Mallory Fuchs, and I wanted to share a little bit about my experience at the Republican State Convention in Dallas, Texas this past weekend. I was a first-time delegate to the convention. I was very excited, especially because I was looking forward to promoting a pro-life platform. And so one thing that I did before the convention was I went and testified in front of one of the subcommittees on family and life issues. And I had done this for my Senate District's platform committee a couple months ago, and this is the resolution that I proposed. It was recommended by Texas Alliance for Life to propose this to the committees. We oppose the use of public funds for Planned Parenthood and other similar organizations, their school activities, or the expansion of their facilities in our neighborhoods. And that made it into Senatorial District 8, which is where I am in Texas. And so I went to the State Platform Committee, Subcommittee on Family and Life Issues, and I gave them my little talk on why I felt that was really important to be included in the Republican platform for Texas. And this is what I told them. I read them that resolution, and so my obvious reason for proposing this resolution is that the Republican platform stands for life, and Planned Parenthood is the largest provider of abortions in America, and the most lucrative part of Planned Parenthood is its abortion services. The latest annual report was from 2007, and they aborted, according to their own numbers, this is not some right-wing extremist group, they aborted 305,310 babies and referred only 4,912 for adoption. And a first trimester abortion can cost between $350 and $900 at Planned Parenthood. So obviously, by their numbers, they are really pushing the abortion agenda, and they are not promoting adoption at all. So my first point is that Planned Parenthood was founded on racism and eugenics. We all know that Margaret Sanger was the founder of Planned Parenthood, and she wanted to exterminate the unfit. She said, quote, "We do not want word to get out that we want to exterminate the Negro population," end quote. So her ideals matched straight up with Hitler's, and blacks make up 12% of the population, but they are having 35% of America's abortions, and 78% of Planned Parenthoods are in minority neighborhoods. So they are still being targeted, and they are still trying to kill our minorities. Second point is that Planned Parenthood consistently breaks the law. There's a great group called Live Action. They were founded by a college student at UCLA, Lila Rose, and they are now doing undercover work all across the country, targeting Planned Parenthood. And in one of their first projects, they discovered that Planned Parenthood covers up the sexual abuse of young girls. They would go in and pose as a 13, 14-year-old girl and said, "Oh, I was impregnated by my 30-year-old boyfriend, and that is statutory rape." And the Planned Parenthood clinic workers would say, "Oh, you can have an abortion, and we won't tell your parents, we won't tell anyone, it's confidential." So they would not, Planned Parenthood would not report the statutory rape, and they would even just try to suggest going over state lines to a state that didn't have parental consent laws. And so Planned Parenthood believes they are above the law, and this has to be stopped. And thirdly, Planned Parenthood gives out false medical information. Live Action and another undercover investigation, they have found out that, well, first of all, we all know that Planned Parenthood touts themselves as this medical clinic that gives out accurate information, and they help women make an informed choice. But Live Action discovered that Planned Parenthood is telling its clients that a baby is a clump of tissue, that the heart is not beating at 7 weeks, which we know it is, from science tells us that, and that it doesn't become a baby until birth. And another source, inside source, from Planned Parenthood was Abby Johnson. She was the Planned Parenthood clinic director down in Bryan, Texas, and she was converted to the pro-life side last fall during the 40 Days for Life, and she said that, quote, Planned Parenthood really tries to instill in their employees and the women that are coming in for abortions that this is not a baby, this is just a clump of cells, this is just a mass of cells, end quote. So Planned Parenthoods are posing as caring clinics, but they are really these death camps, and they suck women into the black hole of abortion, which is a choice they could never take back, and they're letting sexual predators evade the law and letting them go and abuse more and more girls who will get more and more abortions, and therefore bringing in more money for Planned Parenthood. And just to top it all, the biggest issue comes down is that it's the biggest abortion provider in America, and they're even colluding with our current presidential administration. Cecile Richards, who is the current president of Planned Parenthood, has been a frequent guest at the White House, no doubt pushing her agenda disguised as health care. We all can be sure of that fact. And abortion is not health care because it takes lives. It doesn't help save them. And as long as we allow Planned Parenthood to be in our communities and target our children and our minorities and our unborn children, abortion will continue to be the law of the land, and we can't let that be so. 1/3 of my generation is dead because of abortion, and that has got to be stopped. So that is why I'm promoting this resolution to defund Planned Parenthood and other baby-killing organizations. So that is what I told the platform committee at the Texas State Convention earlier last week, and it did make it into the platform for the Texas Republican Party. So I was very, very pleased with that, and there was also it's a very, very pro-life platform, very conservative, just a few things. They're opposed to RU46, opposed to the morning after pill, and there's the opposed public funding for Planned Parenthood. Of course, the sonogram we urge the Texas legislature in its next biennial session to enact legislation requiring a sonogram be performed and offered as part of the consent process to each mother seeking an elective abortion. And actually, we made a list of legislative priorities for our legislature to tackle this next session, and that was the first thing on the list. So that is really exciting, and we are going to hold our feet to the fire and make sure it gets done, because this is really important stuff. Because if we don't put priority on these moral issues, then nothing else can be solved. So that morality has to be our #1 priority, and being pro-life has to be our #1 priority. Everything else, we have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But we can't have liberty or happiness unless we have life. So that obviously is the first thing that we need to go after and that we need to protect. So it was really exciting being a delegate at the convention. I'm looking forward to 2012, and it will probably be held in Fort Worth. And then that year, since it's a presidential year, they will be electing delegates to go to national. So if that's where I'm supposed to be, I'm really excited. And I will definitely be fighting all the way to the national level to keep the pro-life issue in the forefront and make sure that we stand for life. So thank you, and thank you for everyone who was praying for me there and praying for the cause. So keep fighting for life.